everyone. Welcome back to the Trainwell podcast, inspiring you to move more, get stronger, and have fun. Can't wait to chat with you today. We're going to talk about being a trainer today. So I'm going to ask Joey some questions. I want to find out how he got here, how he got to becoming a personal trainer. Maybe we'll dive into my story a little bit as well. And then we have a very exciting opportunity to share. Can't wait to share it. So stay tuned for that.
Let's do it, D. My entrance into personal training was a very funny story. Basically, I never thought I would be a trainer because I always hated my strength and conditioning coaches with a passion. They told me to run. I wanted to flip them off because I was like, why is fitness like a thing where you can make income? I remember walking up the stairs in college to one of my business classes, and I just switched my major to health and exercise. And my buddy Quinn's like, you're going to be a trainer? And I'm like, no way. I just like learning about the body. I told him, no, it wasn't going to happen. And here I am today. Cause I remember on that staircase thinking, what does a trainer do? Like push-ups and drink pre-workout? What does a personal trainer do? But regardless, my intro was, I started at 24 Hour Fitness, shout out 24, Fort Collins. I was going to school. I was, juggling how to balance this athletic life with a student life, and I needed to make money. And so they gave me a job working front desk at 24. And I'll never forget, I went to cancel my membership that day, actually. And you have to talk with the manager to cancel your membership. Mm-hmm. And he's typing it, getting ready to finalize. And I'm like, hey, do you have any job openings actually? And he's like, yeah, we do. I was like, I'll clean your toilets, man. And he actually knew one of my old strength coaches back in the day. It was a weird coincidence. So it was kind of like the universal lining. Anyways, they made me front desk. I worked front desk for about 3-4 months, and they paid for my National Academy of Sports Medicine cert. And from there, the rest is history, man. So that was my intro. And I worked at 24 for about 8 years. And in doing so, I was going to school, which is super fatiguing, balancing all. But what was cool is as I'm learning about biomechanics and kinesiology and exercise phys, I'm actually applying it. Not to the same. I'm not talking about the Krebs cycle and pyruvate and all that, but I got to blend both training, right? And I got to connect with people. So, anyways, got into that, and I was really still into strength and conditioning at the time. So I had the opportunity to work with the Air Force Academy. I had the opportunity to work at CSU, and I didn't know if I wanted to go personal training or strength and conditioning, right? Athletes or general pop. But I figured out, and this is for all the trainers listening out there, if you're a strength and conditioning coach, right, you're only training athletes usually in the morning and then after classes, right? At least in the college setting, NCAA. You got to make money in between, right? This is your general box gym, right? This is your general pop clients. And I found that general pop clients are so much better to train. I mean, yes, there's ego, but not as much ego as the ones with the scholarships or, they're going off to the pros or whatnot. And in so doing, I just fell in love with general pop. I will do it till I die, and I'm going to die on that hill. I was a strength coach at a high school, and then I had my sport performance gym where we had our general pop coming during the day too, morning and at night and during the day. And I was burnt out. You realize that's a labor of love. You're working 8 to faint. You are in the gym 12 hours a day. You are training clients back to back to back. I have a million stories about getting ulcers from what I call 10-minute Chipotle time. In the client on the 50, you have 10 minutes to go get a burrito, come back because you didn't have time to meal prep or anything like that. But yeah, I was sick and tired of getting sick and tired. So I started online, and here I am today at the best company out there, Trainwell.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. That was actually really interesting. So you didn't start out wanting to be a trainer. At what point did you realize, yeah, I'm just going to keep doing this? Or did you think along the way, oh yeah, eventually I'll transition to whatever it was you actually wanted to do?
When I had my first success story, and I still train her to this day, her name's Cassie Yale. She had just gotten married, had a couple kids, and she was looking to rebound, right? She was the first one I actually took through the OPT model and really looked at food and put a ton of, effort into it. And yeah, she still trains with me to this day. At my wedding, the second story, where my wife and I, she came to my wedding, right? And we're leaving, walking off the dance floor, and her husband comes up to me, grabs my arm, and he pulls me off. He's like, Joey, what you did to Cass changed our lives. And I'm
Yeah.
like that was powerful. We got married almost 10 years after the fact. The relationships you build, the human connection you make and foster, that's what's up. That's why I'm in it.
Yeah, that's amazing because yeah, I think I'm similar. Like I never thought I'd be a personal trainer. I didn't honestly even know that that was like a career choice you could make. Like I didn't even consider it. And and I
Well,
also didn't think, yeah, this will be my career. I kind of just was like, I know I like fitness. Like, let me try this out. I never thought, I thought one day I would get have a different job. So yeah, it's interesting.
so I want to ask you, D, talk to us about your intro into how you got into training and really how you got really into the online space.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for asking. Yeah. So let's see. Okay. I was active my whole life, but like I said, I never considered a career in anything to do with like being active, movement or fitness or anything like that. And I've shared pretty openly on the podcast that really my introduction to fitness was that I had a lot of issues with eating disorder, disordered eating, body image issues, and it kind of became like this obsessive kind of thing that I did, which was fitness. But I think like the silver lining there was that it brought me to fitness. Like I didn't think about activity as a working out before. I just grew up as a very active kid. And I actually was in school for theater. I didn't really know what I wanted to. I think I had fantasies that I'd be an actor or something, or I'd move to LA and work in entertainment, which I did move to LA and work in entertainment for a very brief period of time. And but before that, I had gotten a certification to teach spin class because I was taking spin in college and loved it. So I just started teaching spin at different Gold's gyms, one in Pennsylvania where I lived. And then when I moved to LA, started working at a Gold's in LA, two different gyms, teaching spin, working their front desk for a bit. And I just loved the gym environment. I just loved being there. But then I finally got my first full time job in entertainment. And so I was like, okay, I'm a big girl now. I'm going to work, everybody. I'm not teaching spin class anymore. And it was just miserable. I'm so appreciative to the company that I worked for. But I just realized like these are really long hours at a desk. And I missed moving. So I actually told them, I'm quitting. And the vice president of the company was like, well, what are you going to do? And I said, well, I want to be a personal trainer. And she said, well, why don't you come personal train me at my house and I'll invite some friends and, you can just get started. Maybe you don't charge us that much and you'll get to practice. And I was like, okay, great. And I went to the president of the company. I said, I'm quitting and I'm going to become a trainer. He said, my partner owns a physical medicine center in Beverly Hills. Why don't you go work the front desk while you study for your certifications? I said, okay. I just landed these two jobs like in fitness. Like I did, it was crazy. I was like, whoa, okay, we're doing it. And I couldn't have been in a more lucky, right place, right time situation because training that woman that I had met at that job and her friends, pretty soon the word spread. I got introduced to these gym owners who were opening a CrossFit gym, and this was in 2010, I think. So CrossFit was, it had started in 2001, but it was blowing. It was just starting to blow up. When I said I worked for a CrossFit gym, nobody knew what CrossFit was at that time. They're like, "What's that?" So getting in on the ground floor of CrossFit too was like so cool. And then getting my personal training cert on top of that, and then branching out into all these specialty certs and just really diving in and just I was reflecting the other day, Joey, that I have never, except for that entertainment job, since getting into fitness, I've never woken up and thought, I don't want to go to work today. I have loved every second of being in this world with people. And I think you might agree. You can tell me if you do. because fitness kind of comes easily for us, right? Because we're like fitness people. And so when I started working with clients and over the years, and it sounds like, I don't know, conceited to say, but so many people would tell me like, you changed my life. And that I was confused, because I was like, because it comes so easily to me, but it truly changes people's lives. That was an aspect of this that I did not expect people to feel. I just thought, yeah, I'll help people work out. But it really is it's very meaningful work. And I didn't even realize that at the time.
You have no idea the impact you can make on people. And for the listener, if you're on this journey of fitness, like if you're brand new to it, and you still hate it, if you train with our trainers, you don't hate it, but stick with it, because you're going to realize that fitness sets you up beyond what you even thought you could be. It's going to be a great mental thing for you. It's going to be a great routine for you. It's going to make you succeed in other areas of life that you didn't even think you could be successful in, because it's so healthy for the body, and I think, fitness is always for the mind. I think nutrition's for the body, but it doesn't have to be like anything crazy, right? My client, Steve, right? Still train him. He was in a really bad skiing accident, right? And his fitness was just learning how to walk. And his goal was being able to walk hand in hand with his daughters down their wedding aisle, right? Like
Yeah.
that's the powerful impact you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
cool getting, the weight loss goals and whatnot, but what's cooler is unleashing why the client wanted it in the first place. That's what I call the emotional goal.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't want to also like underplay my personal growth. Like it's not just meaningful because I'm helping other people. I learned so much from my clients. It is crazy. Not just about how to be a better trainer, but how to communicate better, how to be a better communicator, what it means to truly support someone, what it means to meet someone where they're at and validate them and believe them. Like I think I've grown so much as a human being from this career path and working and meeting so many different types of people from all walks of life, coming into training with baggage. No, I think very few people show up to wanting to work with a personal trainer having no baggage behind it. It can be emotional. Like, people come with horrible gym class stories that gave them like that they still remember. People come with horrible body image. People come with, with an athletic goal. Everyone's coming to the table with something different. And that is also what makes it really meaningful and help me grow so much in my skills and just who I am. Um, and yeah, I will say, I mean, being a personal trainer is not easy, right? Like I had to open the gym at 6 a.m. And then I worked until like 11 a.m. or noon. I went home, I took a nap, and then went right back to the gym, like 3 or 4. And then I was there till 9 and then restart, that is like the hard part.
No,
But
that's weak. That's nothing on this schedule. You ready?
you're up at
Th-
4:30, I bet.
this is balancing full-time school load and being a trainer right before I graduated.
Yeah.
If you're out there and you're doing that, man, props to you. It was get up 4, have your 5 a.m., 6 a.m. client, get back to school at 8, 9, back to the gym, train your lunch clients, back to your afternoon recitations, and then back to the evening at gym. That was a slog and a grind. It's not
Yeah.
easy, but boy, it is so worth it. And I don't care about people's education. Like it's a good baseline, but the human connection, that is by far the best attribute us trainers can give the clients, and the clients can give us trainers. It is so much more powerful than sets, reps, push-ups, goblet squats, all that.
Yeah, there's definitely like hard parts about being a trainer for sure. Um, so I want to tell you how I ended up at Trainwell. So I was living in LA for about 9 years, and I not basically, I did. I built my whole career there. So after I stopped working in entertainment, that, like I said, that's when I got into fitness. I built up all my clientele there. I was working at like 3 different gyms in LA. And then after having our first kiddo, moving back to Pennsylvania. And, when you work for yourself in the fitness industry, I was a contractor and I worked for myself. You can't, and you move across the country, you have to start again. You have to start over with your clientele. I was luckily at that time. I mean, fitness tech really wasn't like as much of a thing. So I started training some of my clients from LA, like through Google Meet or Zoom and like Google Sheets and things like that. Not super efficient, but started doing that. Started building some clientele here in Pennsylvania. Started working with the Women and Babies Hospital here, doing prenatal and postpartum work, and just working at different gyms. But I will share a vulnerable story with the listeners that I was in the process. My now ex-husband and I were in the process of separating. And it felt extremely hard for us both to be able to do that financially. And I had a friend who had just moved to Pennsylvania, and she's a trainer here as well.
Hi,
And
Jill.
she said, yes, hi, Jill. She said, I'm starting to apply for this company. And at the time we were called Trainwell. Delta Trainer. If you've been with us since day one, you know we've had 3 different names. So we're on our 3rd right now. So at the time it's called Delta Trainer. She said, I'm applying for this job called Delta Trainer for this company. She goes, they offer health benefits. They offer a salary. They offer, you get to work from home. It's all remote. And I'm not kidding you, Joey. I said, okay, because Jill's quite a bit younger than me. She's almost 10 years younger than me. I said, okay, I think this is a scam. Like legit. I pulled out the mom card. I was like, honey, this is a scam. Put your phone down. And she's like, no, it's real. I'm like, well, how'd you hear about it? She goes, oh, a friend told me about it. I'm like, well, do they know anyone there? She's like, no, it's legit. I'll connect you with them. And I was like, okay, I'll check it out. It turns out it's legit. I could not believe it. Like I was like, a job like this doesn't exist in the fitness industry. It still doesn't. Trainwell is still, I think, like the only company that offers a job like this where you get to connect with people literally around the world from all different walks of life, to be able to train them from wherever you are, to be able to have a flexible schedule. Because right now I'm able to finally separate from my partner. And just in case anyone's worried, we have a great co-parenting relationship. So proud of it. It was a great decision for our family. But now I can afford to be on my own and to raise my kids, as a single mom, and like have that flexibility to be able to bring them to school, pick them up from school, like be with them, not at the gym all the time at weird hours. It was really a dream come true to have that stability and just be living this like life that I really like. I couldn't have imagined a better way to like be able to do the thing I love and still be with my kids. It's amazing.
D, well said. It is truly a unicorn job. Like when I first found this out, I found it out a little different way because one of my best friends works for one of our competitors. And I just remember him saying, I work from home. I set my own schedule. And I'm like, Shane, you don't even have kids. Like this is like, what are you talking about? Like this doesn't exist. I didn't put my mom honey hat on, but I didn't believe him. I didn't think it was possible. I thought just keep grinding away, at the gym. This is what it's going to take. This is what it is. And now that I'm in this online space, I just cannot believe the scope at which we get to work with A, B, how you can truly work anywhere you want to. All you need is a computer. I remember I met this one of my best athletes I ever worked with. His dad always came to his sessions, right? And he always had his phone. And he told me something I'll never forget. He said, I always aim to get a job that I can put in my pocket. And I was like, I want that job. And I was so jealous of that guy. But truly, like, it's right there. All you need is your computer. It's not necessarily in the pocket, right? And the scope, like we have clients all over, right? And I just never thought it was possible. It's truly a unicorn job. And don't even talk about like benefits in the fitness industry. I've been there, D, 1099, right?
Yeah.
And if you're a 1099, man, you may not always have the best health benefits. You just got to pray you don't get sick. You got to pray you don't break an arm. You got to pray you don't get on disability. Truly, this is a unicorn job.
Yeah, and you build genuine relationships. Like that was one of my fears, like leaving the in-person space. It's like every friend I've ever made literally was my client or took a class of mine at one point. And I was like, where how am I going to make my friends? Like, am I actually going to build authentic relationships with people that I'm meeting online? And I'm not kidding you, like some of my clients right now, I would consider my friends for sure. Like we meet on calls and we like catch up on life and it's amazing. Like I have great relationships with my clients.
So I have a question for you, D. What do you think your biggest skill set is, having had over a decade plus of training? Is it the sets and reps and the exercise selection and the programming? Is it the relationship building? What do you think your biggest gift to people is truly with training?
Yeah, I think that's a great question because I think newer trainers, and I felt this way too as a newer trainer, that like my value as a trainer was in um, being there in person to like count the number of reps and then like switch out the weights if something looked too light or too easy and give the form cues in person. And that is all valuable, right? But what I've learned from working in the online space is I get to give people workouts that they can do when it makes sense for them. They're not relying on finding a time in my schedule to work out one. So now they have access to all these workouts and not just the ones that I write for them when we meet in sessions cuz right, usually as a personal trainer, you write the workout for the session. You don't just write them workouts that they can do anytime. I can provide them with their strength training program. I can provide them with their mobility program, with their like, walking their steps. Like I get to provide them with like a balanced, well-rounded program that isn't reliant on my schedule, them and our schedule combined. So like that is a huge value one, but also that I get to coach them. Like it's not just about the workout now. It's about so much more than that. It's about how do we make fitness a part of your life? And as you know, Joey, we talk about all the time, fitness is a lifelong endeavor. People get to come into this app and become a member at a monthly price, and they get unlimited chatting with their trainer and unlimited workouts and unlimited ability to schedule calls. Your trainer's there for you, guiding you through whatever season of life you're in and helping you build activity and fitness into that in like a super well-rounded way. And I think that is the value I can now give, is like that accountability and that authenticity and that like true partnership with my client, not just like only when I'm with them in person in the gym. Like we're connected all the time.
All the time. The flexibility you can give with your clients, whether they go for a 10-week vacation in the Bahamas and they only have
Yes.
a foam roller and a band, or if they have a major life event and it's like they don't have to cut their training with you because they can't afford you anymore. They can take you wherever. Extremely, extremely affordable. That's the thing that I don't think people realize, is the affordability for the price. Because the trainers here, stout with knowledge, with background, with experience. You are in amazing hands here. And if you're listening, if you have a trainer, give us a shout out. Send us an email, send us a text, tell us their name, tell us your experience, because we get testimonials on the daily. But we always want to hear from you guys about your experience with Trainwell.
Yeah, so I think it's time for our big announcement because obviously our call to action here is usually to our listener to sign up to meet their trainer, right? But the big exciting news is that we're hiring for personal trainers. And we truly only hire like the best of the best. We're looking for trainers who genuinely care about their clients, who want to meet people around the world. Like, do you think if you're sitting there in Idaho that you could train someone in Germany? You can. One of my first clients here at Trainwell was a guy in Germany and he was awesome. I'm like, when else would I have ever been able to meet this guy? It never would have happened. It's so amazing, like the experience you get, the value you get to give to your clients, and the flexibility that you get to have as a trainer. So we are hiring right now. You can click the link. We're going to put a link in the show notes right to our application. So if you're sitting there and you're a trainer, you have your personal training cert, you have a few years of training experience under your belt, we want to hear from you. We would love for you to apply to the position, because we can't speak more highly of it.
And listeners, if you have friends or family you know of, please spread the word. You don't necessarily have to be a trainer with your certification, but spread the word, share this episode as we always encourage you to do, right? We have so much more content coming. And as always, click the link below if you haven't found us yet and you're on the edge of should you get a trainwell, because you can get 2 weeks free with the link as well. Give us a shot, share it with your friends.
Thank you. Bye.